What's going on, guys? So I figured I'd do a video on the release of the Mavic 3 Pro. So that's going to be happening next Tuesday the 25th at 9 a.m. Central Time, or actually 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So for those who don't know, there's been a lot of talk on the Mavic 3 stuff and the Inspire 3, and I feel I'm a pretty good person to talk about this a little bit because I've owned Mavic 2s, I've owned the Mavic 3 Cine, I've had the Mavic 3, which is this guy right here. I owned an Inspire 2 with the X5S with all the different lenses, like an Olympus 45mm, 25mm, blah, 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 15mm. So I've had the experience of flying a nice high-end drone with ProRes and having different lens options, which is really great. A lot of people were calling this drone a Mavic 3 Pro because they were. If you Google Mavic 3 Pro, this is going to be the drone that comes up, more hits than the new one with the 3 lenses, but probably it was considered the Mavic 3 Pro because it was the only drone we had. And then when the Classic came out, I heard other people talking about this as the Mavic 3 Pro because it probably was a more pro model than the Classic because it has both of the lenses. So it has the 1/2" 7x optical zoom, and then it has the micro four thirds wider lens. And the Mavic 3 Pro, the official one, will now have a third lens, which will be a 50mm equivalent with a 1" sensor, which is essentially a 3x zoom. So we'll have the wide angle, the 3x zoom, which is great because a lot of times the 7x optical zoom, which is amazing, especially when you have the right situation, it really does really well for a 1/2" sensor, but it is sometimes a little bit too much. So to have a mid-range lens available to us will be super killer. And having an Inspire 2 with all the lenses, you have a lot more drone, a lot more money invested, a lot more responsibility, and it just isn't great when you're wanting to get a shot because you basically have to set it up and it takes more time and energy. And if you see something that's really cool unfolding in front of you creatively, you're going to be way more inclined to take this drone up in the air or a drone like this or like a Mini 3 Pro or something. So if I were to eventually buy an Inspire 3, an Inspire series drone again, I would definitely have a drone like this or a Mini 3 Pro or something in the car with me in case I saw a shot that I wanted to capture and I didn't want to actually take out and spend the time. But if you do have a shot that really is worth it, then having a quality drone like an Inspire series can really be over the top awesome. That's at what, $25,000 now for the Inspire 3 with everything included lens-wise. So if you're going to have a drone that's going to be a Mavic 3 Pro that's coming out with 3 lens options for under $4,000, guess what? No brainer, because as a photographer, lens options are really great, and having different compressions and different focal lengths to play with creatively for your B-roll footage and stuff. Yeah, the wide angle lens is going to be the main lens that people are going to be familiar with the drone, but when you start giving clients some different focal lengths, like, wow, that was with the drone, and different compressions, and that's all out of a small little package like this. Yeah, the Mavic 3 Pro is going to have a bigger camera and a bigger footprint in the front, but at the same time, it's going to be a very comparable drone to this, utilizing the same batteries, I would imagine. And from what I've seen, apparently it's going to be under $4,000, probably like $3,800, but I was seeing that packaged with the RC Pro, and this is the RC N1, which I probably would prefer to use. So I'm hoping they allow us to bundle the Mavic 3 Pro with more than one option. Ideally, they allow us to buy the drone on its own because a lot of people already have an RC Pro or RC controller or an RC N1, and they may just want to add that body to their setups. So we'll see what happens, what they're going to do. I hope they don't lock it in like the Cine did with just a full-on $6,000 package with the ProRes and the 1TB drive and the RC Pro and 2 sets of filters, blah, 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 because I don't necessarily need the bag. I don't want all the filters. So here, Simon, you want to come up here? Come here, come on. Say hi to YouTube. Come here, come here. Let's give Simon Kitty a treat. He has the door open. Come on, come here, come here. Come on, let's go. Say hi to YouTube. There you go. Yeah, that's a Mavic 3. Okay, you can have a few treats. There you go. So Simon Kitty is making a cameo. He is enjoying some treats. We have some Atort aerial stickers. If anyone wants one, I can give some away. I will be selling these. I don't know how I'm going to price them because they're stickers. Maybe I'll come up with a couple other versions, but they're really nice. They look great on a bag or put it on the back of my iPhone. The logo is really nice. Spent a lot of time designing that guy. What do you say, Simon? You like the Mavic 3 Pro or the Mavic 3? I don't know. Go ahead. So regardless, we shall see next week what the Mavic 3 Pro is going to be about. Most likely I'm going to buy one immediately and have both of them to compare. So I will be buying one for sure. As long as it's not over $4,000, I will be pulling the trigger. So with that being said, do I think it's worth it? I completely think it's worth it. I would not buy the Mavic 3 Classic because I think that is really a yawn drone personally, because you don't have the flexibility of having another lens option. And for me, as a photographer for over 25 years, lens options are everything. Different focal lengths with different compressions, different looks and feels, different scenes that just look better with a certain focal length. Like if I'm shooting an L train or something in the city, for example, I don't want it to always be wide. I want it to be wide for maybe a certain shot, but I would rather have something else. If I could have two other focal lengths, a wide, a mid, and a telephoto, that's awesome out of a little footprint like this. So the Mavic 3 Pro is going to be a great drone. I don't know if it's going to have a built-in SSD drive. I doubt it's going to have ProRes, because if it has a ProRes option, that's going to take away from the Cine series drone. So to me, that doesn't make sense on DJI's part to have ProRes option in that Mavic 3 Pro, although it would be great because, yeah, I would rather have ProRes and 3 lens options, but I don't know. We'll see what happens on the 25th. This is all not really speculation because I kind of do feel that the 3 lenses obviously are it. We should have the Micro Four Third wide angle, the 50mm 1-inch, and then the 7x optical zoom with the 1/2-inch sensor, same as what's on here now currently. What it's going to be bundled with, we don't know. I can't imagine them having a built-in SSD drive personally, because that's going to jack up the price. I hope they don't only have us have an RC Pro option, because I don't want the RC Pro, I don't want the bag. So if I do have to buy that, I will be selling the RC Pro immediately. I don't want that controller, I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of this guy or the RC controller that comes with the Mini 3 Pro. That's my limit for my smart controller for DJI right now. So I'm hoping this helps. Will I be buying one? Yes. Do I think it's worth it? Absolutely. I was watching that Air Photography channel and him talking about not really thinking the 50mm would excite him. And that's, you know, everyone has their opinions, but to me, 50mm is one of the best focal lengths as a photographer out there. So that's completely awesome, because I used on my Inspire 2 the 25mm lens all the time, which is with the Micro Four Thirds equivalent to a 50mm lens. And that was when I was on bigger jobs. That's what the DPs and people really preferred, either that or the 45mm, which was a 90mm equivalent. So now we'll have those two awesome lens options available in a drone like this. Super easy to fly. We're familiar with the footprint. We're familiar with the drone. We're familiar with the model now. We have the batteries, we have the controllers. All we hope for is that it's not too expensive, and we'll see what happens. As I said, I don't think they're gonna give you a ProRes option. I doubt there's gonna be an internal SSD, because that's just gonna jack up the price that much more. Maybe they'll give us an option. I doubt it though, because they gave us the Cine model, they gave us the Classic, so they're not gonna really take away from any of the other models, I don't think, in my opinion. So with that being said, if you're going to buy an Inspire 3, you're going to be spending $25,000, and it's going to be way more drone than most people can even handle. So with that being said, that was one drone that I looked at and I was excited to hear about technology-wise. Yes, it's awesome, but it's way out of my budget right now. And again, just way more drone than I'm going to really need most of the time. So for under $4,000, the Mavic 3 Pro with 3 lens options will be basically a home run for them, I think. And that will really pull the longevity out of this model for quite some time, and that's it. So yeah, next Tuesday I will pull the trigger, order one. I'll do some videos on it. If you want a sticker, let me know. I don't know what they're worth, but you know, if I was to sell one, what would you spend? $5, $10, but then you got to ship it and stuff. So regardless, they're nice, they're beautiful. I'll give some away. Let me know if you want one, and Aloha. The shirts are pretty nice. I'm just doing test runs with them. I cut off the sleeves. And yeah, that's it, guys. Aloha. Let me know what you think. If you're going to buy a Mavic 3 Pro, if you're not going to buy one, if you're going to buy an Inspire, if it excites you at all, if not. But go ahead, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and see ya. Bye.